Last Wednesday Wisdom, I talked about creating a personal elevator pitch. So let's go over that a little bit again. It's common sense to a lot of us, but it takes more work and effort than it would appear. Practice makes perfect. I encourage you guys to practice in front of a mirror. This is your personal story, and you're your own worst critic. So it's really critical that you feel good about it, feel confident in what you're going to say, because that confidence will continue on through the rest of the conversation. And that's really the goal of nailing this personal elevator pitch. Let's shift our the conversation to the why, which we're going to talk about today. Simon Sinek wrote a great book called Start with Why, which I really deeply believe in. Starting with the why, in my opinion, means that you understand why you're doing something versus leading with the what. In the business world, in the professional world, for me, this has meant having the reason to start the business versus having a product and then figuring out from there. I was really lucky because both software companies that I started, the why came very easy for me and it came first for me. In both cases, there was an intersecting of my professional world and my personal world. And I believe this clarity um, really helped me to achieve my success. With Notify, which is a communication software for hospitals and physicians and other care providers, we saw a major issue with the communication that was occurring between care providers, both inside hospital walls and outside hospital walls. Um, there were clear challenges in getting test information, test results between doctors, for example, a radiologist in a hospital and a primary care physician or an orthopedist, and then from those providers to the patients. I personally received very scary test results while I was on vacation. I was trying to reach my physician, my primary care physician, for days after receiving these results. Didn't know whether I could, what to eat, whether I could have, a glass of wine with dinner. Um, Received the results on Monday. It took until Wednesday to find out that those results were incorrect. I received incorrect test results. I really wanted to make sure no one else experienced that. And we already knew that that challenge existed in hospitals. So I had a personal reason to make this happen. For CareFlow, we were contacted by a prestigious boarding school in Connecticut that was struggling with collecting and tracking student health records. Those records are required on campus in case of an emergency for student, allergic reaction, injury during sports, etc. How to treat, what permissions they had, what medications they are on, parental contact information, etc. This is not my area expertise, or was not my area expertise. We were really focused on hospital-based technologies at the time, but I was a parent and am a parent, and it was frustrating to have to complete these forms every single year, the same forms on paper. I have terrible handwriting, so I was always called by the nurse to clarify what I wrote anyway. We had to submit the same information year over year and mail it in. It was mailed to us, we mailed it back, and hoped that it was put on file properly. Why couldn't we just do this electronically and make updates for any changes, which were rare year after year? And wouldn't that also make it easier to track and access that information for school? Imagine there's emergency on a field. What are they going to do? Print out the papers and um, bring them to the field and slow down the treatment? That doesn't make any sense. And plus, my daughter has a peanut allergy. What if she had a reaction? How would they get this information? Could they actually find it? Could they make sense of it? So in both of these cases, I really had my why. It was absolutely clear. And from there, it was just a matter of how to solve the problem, what to create, and uh, how to help. And I was really passionate about both of these causes. Um, and that made it easy to communicate to my teams um, why we had to solve the problem and build teams that were focused on the mission and the values of the company, which we created based on our why. It was then easy to explain to prospective clients that we could help solve their pains. Um, Interestingly enough, I work for a new company now called School Sims, and we provide simulation software to help with professional development of current and aspiring school leaders. And the why for me joining that company was to give back. I was lucky enough to have people make sacrifices for me that helped me with my success, mentors, investors, etc. So I wanted to help another founder in the way that I was helped. So that was my why originally. But with COVID, it's really difficult for current and aspiring leaders to receive this professional development, to manufacture experiences that are relatable and feel like real world experiences, especially in a virtual manner. So these software simulations help. And I have a second why. Um, I'm helping to solve a problem for an important group of people, the people that are leading the schools for our children, the future of our world. And I feel great about that. So I actually just thought about that scenario right now as I was thinking about this why topic, and I'm happy to talk to our founder about that later today. So that's it for me today. I hope this is helpful, and would love any comments or questions that you have. You can always send them to Brian at thebkcg.com. Have a great day.